Hello and welcome to another, or much rather, a reintroduction of the Husky Introvert Believer. This is Ariel, your introvert Husky Believer. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done one of these solo endeavors. Mostly procrastination, mostly because I hate the sound of my own voice. Mostly because I just keep asking, what's the point? What's the point? And, I realize that people actually listen to these things. I'm so that makes me scratch my head and be like, well, if there's an audience, why am I not giving them what they want? And I really don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know what people want from me. And if I start thinking about that, then I'm gonna go crazy because I don't know. We go down that rabbit hole, like, how can I please everybody? And those are the things that I try not to think about because I'm already self-conscious as is. So you want to add other things to it, and I'll be like, no, then I'll just go crazy. And I don't want to add that other stuff into my head. But here I am, hopefully doing the Lord's work, which it seems to be the theme now. If you've been following this journey, this audio journey that I've been embarked since 2020 or 2021, 2020, 2021, I don't even remember. I've done podcasts before, and like I said before I was cussing a lot. If you search all the other old episodes out there that are there in the ether, you'll see that there's a lot of cussing. And then from a certain point, it stopped. And it's because, I reconciled my life with God. And and again, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite and saying, oh, it's just that I don't curse anymore. I do curse in personal life. I just don't want to throw that out there anymore because that's not a reflection about. It's neither here or there. And it's not a criticism on anybody that does curse or says any bad words. It's not a criticism on that. It's not me trying to sit on a high horse in a religious pew and pointing fingers at people. Lord knows if we're going to go that route, I'm the first one that should go. I'm the first one that should be put on trial. Because, yeah, not perfect. And that's what I've come to discover about my faith in the recent weeks, in the recent years, actually, since I stopped doing the cussing on recording audio stuff, is that God knows who I am. The fact that I'm a screw up artist has not gone past his head. He knows what I'm doing. He knows what I'm going to do before I even do it. So, he knows. He sees my heart. He sees my mind. And he can change me. And he has changed me. Not fully. Do I screw up? Yeah. 100% I still screw up. But the difference between who I am now and who I was before is that now I know I don't walk alone. So weird that we live in a world now like it's being judged for you to have a faith. Like it's challenged. And in a way I understand it because a lot of stupidity out there being done in the name of God. And believe me, this is not something new. This is all this time. A whole bunch of stupidity has been done in the name of God. But what I mean is that people have to, or I would think that people would know the difference between a religious zealot and a person that is actually trying to seek the betterment of his life and found something that is beyond himself, that something that is actually making him a better person. And that, and I believe that I am in that, like I'm in the latter. I'm in the other spectrum of it. I try not to shove this thing down people's throat. For example, my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, has made the choice that she wants to be baptized. Now, I'm very happy about that, but I asked her, and very directly, I'm like, are you sure this is something that you want to do? Are you doing this out of pressure to satisfy a group of people? Or are you trying to satisfy me or your mom? Or is this your personal conviction? And she was like, well, why are you asking that? Well, because this is a serious choice. I don't want you to make a choice based on what you think others want. This is your personal choice. This is your life. And yes, it would make me happy because I'm a believer and you're a believer and your mom is a believer. But this is your personal choice. This is something I'm not going to enforce you. I'm not going to put a gun in your head and make you do something that you don't want to do. So you have to search. Oh, I'm going to pray about it. Well, yeah, but this is your choice. At the end of the day, this is your decision. You decide whether this is the course of action that you need to take or not. And that is what she's doing. She is considering it. And that makes me very proud because I didn't have to force anything onto her. Now, is she a perfect kid in the sense that she has never done anything wrong? I'll just say that she's her father's child. Make of that what you will. I know what that means. You don't have to. I don't have to spill the beans. She's still a kid. She's still learning the ropes of life. But I know what that means. She's her her daddy's kid. So she's a chip off the old block. And if you've heard anything that I say, well, you can do 2 plus 2 from there. So yeah. Nonetheless, I'm very proud of her. She had a high average in school. Like she's an A plus student. Always has been. Thinking of her just brings a smile on my face. Thinking about what a blessing God gave both my wife and I. How blessed we are. Like the education part, I give that up to God and to my wife because she was a teacher. And all the smarts in that department, I have to give that to my wife because Lord knows that that does not apply to me. Like I second guess myself and everything. I mean, the fact that you haven't listened to me in months is just me second guessing myself. Like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? Procrastination, and lo and behold, 3 months later, there hasn't been a podcast, and now finally there is one. But you know what? I'm gonna push myself to do these at least twice a month. These and you know what? I'm also gonna bring back the Spanish one, the Husky Bibles in Spanish. That's gonna be another one, but in Spanish. So I guess what kind of line is gonna be that? Well, more or less like this, but in Spanish. And why am I doing this? I don't know. I'm feeling led to do this. And just to be quite frank, I'm not saying a dime out of this. On the contrary, it's been more a financial burden on my end to do this, but I do it out of necessity. Some weird necessity inside of me is telling me to do this. I'm not going to say it's God, but I feel to do this. And I see that already in the media sphere, in YouTube, Spotify, podcasting, and all that stuff. We already have a lot of voices representing God out there, and people who are actually have an audience. And me, little me out here just, chugging through with just like maybe 2 or 3 listeners out there in the ether. And I mean, maybe things will change. I don't know. I've been at this almost 4 years and been pretty much same old, but I don't know. Still optimistic. I'm very, like we've talked about before, about the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm very optimistic now about the future. Not necessarily about this. Not necessarily about this. Like, this is still like an active hobby of mine to do this just for just because. Just because I can and get out there. Also, whatever happens happens, but I think that, yeah, it is a blessing. It's a privilege to, form thoughts and express yourself. What little way it is. I mean, I'm very, again, very self-aware, and it automatically puts the brakes on me. It doesn't allow me, to express myself to the fullest. But I'm thankful for where I am in life. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. And what little I have, what little I have no choice but to thank God. Thank Him for His mercies. Thank Him for His love. Thank Him for everything that He's done for me, for my family, for my wife, for my daughter, for the things that He's allowed to place in my hands, for the people that are around me, for my family, my parents, my uncles, my cousins, my whole family, everything that I have, everything that is around me, everything that I've seen, heard, even the good and the bad, it doesn't matter. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for another day. I'm thankful because I get to breathe. I'm thankful because even in the bad things I've learned. From the bad things I've learned. From the good things I'm grateful. From the bad things I've learned. And in my almost 46 years walking this earth, I can only say, in my personal experience, God is real. God is faithful. He's been more than good to me. Even in my darkest hours. Even if they didn't get what I wanted. Because it's not about you getting what you want. The pursuit of happiness is somewhat of an illusion. It's not happiness what you're seeking. Is realization, perspective. Because guess what? Life is going to throw at you the good and the bad all at the same time, and not in the moment that you want to. You don't get to pick and choose when the good and the bad is going to happen. You don't get to pick and choose. It happens. So it's your choice either to, go through it or quit. But you can't quit. Not if you want to keep living. And you know what? You're just going to feel the pain. You're just going to feel the bad stuff with the good stuff. And sometimes they're going to be all mixed in between. And in the Bible, there is no such promises of you will never be going through something awful. You will never have pain. There is no such promises in the Bible. The Bible says you will have afflictions in this world, but rejoice because I have conquered the world, said Jesus. So Jesus is a perfect example. I mean, he came to this earth, lived as a dude, as a guy, as a man, and got whipped and crucified, being an innocent man. And he didn't cuss anybody out. And he lived to the end, putting his eyes on God. And you would be like, well, why did this happen? Well, why does anything happen? Like, if you're alive, you're at the risk of anything happening to you. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful especially for my wife and daughter. They're the greatest blessing God has ever bestowed upon me. Like, any riches and glory that one day I might obtain, ha 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 ha, if that ever happens. But, like, my dream already came true. All I wanted was to have a family of my own. That was my dream. That was my super dream. I wanted a family of my own. And I have it. I have it. I have an intelligent, beautiful daughter who is the light of my life. She has no idea how proud I am of her and how much I love her. Words do not do it justice, and the same goes to my wife. I mean, she domesticated me. Just leave it at that. She made me a human being. What was I before? Not human. Yes, would be the proper term to use there. I'm not human. But after her, I became human. I became a decent human being. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah. So if you're listening out there, find a reason to be thankful for. I mean, the crappy stuff in life is gonna happen. It's unavoidable. If you're alive, you get the good and the bad. But have some perspective of life and be thankful for the good stuff, because there are some good stuff out there. There are people that care about you. Look, I'm an introvert that likes to stay locked in the house, and there's still people that care about me. And there's still people like, I'm not the most jovial, easygoing, loving guy out there, and yet there's still people that love me. Just, a little thought there. So this is it. This is number 15 of the Husky Introvert Believer. Take care. Hopefully I'll be recording soon. Bye.